Hello, this is Crypto CJ. It's the trade of the day, Monday afternoon slash evening Zoom edition. And the FUD is flying again. Got my trusty sidekick Elmer with me. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And it's not even that big a deal. It's kind of frustrating. There's some rumors that the FTX people are gonna dump some Solana on the market. There was something about Coinbase pulling out of India. I mean, I just don't think this is enough to send things down to the extent they are, but we do have a Bitcoin drop and an even larger Ethereum drop. So let's go to the charts and check it out.
You got to remember though, CJ, that the whales use the news to manipulate. That's why minor news can have big adjustments.
Yeah, those pesky whales. All right, Bitcoin chart, day chart. Should be visible.
Yes.
And we did dip below the 25K this morning briefly. And good news, I got a low buy order in, but since I'm a terrible swing trader, that may not be good news, but I'll try not to be too superstitious. It did bounce back up above 25K. It's been holding there for a couple hours, but we're down just under 3% on Bitcoin. Ethereum's a little worse. It broke this trend I had significantly, which was the low of 1630, I believe. 16, yeah. And I went all the way down to 1535. Bounced back up a little bit, but yeah, we're down over 4%, nearly 5% on Ethereum today. So not a good day for crypto. Some of my short positions did well, but I still don't like it when the market just dumps, or a little adjustment's fine, but this does seem to be blown out of proportion to me. But anyway, I'm kind of rambling here. Anybody else have anything to say or to add regarding the market overall? Looks like I may need to adjust my Ethereum range. I'll do that before Friday. For now, we will go over to Altcoin Alert and a little bit later, iCoinPro, to find some potential day trades. It was difficult. Start with Altcoin Alert. I'm on the radar layout. Gonna refresh, make sure everything is current. Let's look at the AA scores. I looked at Nano. I haven't looked at this in a while. I remember the volume wasn't very good on this, and I went to Kraken. It was considerably lower than it is here on, I think this is Gate.io. But even this is just drifting down to the point where divergence isn't very useful. Today just might be a super trend day. So, but the buy signals have not been good. This one back on Sunday night, triggered, confirmed by RSI, not quite confirmed by RTI. I was talking to Frank earlier, who likes this indicator, and I've added it. I don't know it that well yet, so I'm still kind of tinkering with it. But to confirm a trend, we're usually looking for a movement above this 50 line, and we don't really have that anywhere here on the RTI. And then on momentum, would have been confirmed by that, but RTI would have kept us out. So if you're using all three of these indicators to confirm on trend-based trading, this one would have saved you, because it just goes up slightly and then craters. And most of the charts look like this. So maybe we should look at a bigger time frame. But it's showing this green on the supply and demand visible range. This like algo indicator I've been using for a few weeks to give me some ranges. It's no matter what time frame I put on here, it's towards the bottom of it. Well, not quite on the 4-hour. So this was down to 56 cents down in August, or back in August. So that could be a good entry. but I'm using the 4-hour to find a lower low. Don't usually like to go back that far. There's really not a place to go in on this one for a price alert because we're there already, right in the green, about to break through. So I'm not sure what to tell you guys on this one. Let's go. I think what I did on most of my alerts today when I was seeing this kind of setup is I just went for a super trend and um, wait for confirmation on all the alerts or on all the indicators, and that hasn't happened yet today. So none of my super trend alerts went off today with confirmation. So kind of a slow and pokey day. I think the best approach is going to be, and here's how you do an alert on super trend if you don't remember. Right click on it. If you're doing spot trading like we are on this nano, you're going to have the super trend buy. It's the first one that shows up. I'll show you how to use it for leverage trading as well. Once per bar close, we'll keep it on until you turn it off. Alert name, I usually go with AA score purchase. If that's my information source. And I'll just leave that message alone. Then notifications, I'm going to notify in app. Just going to be on my phone, show a pop-up on my desktop computer. And I'm going to play a sound. I like 3 notes reverb. So click create and you're good to go. All right. The RSI is something we would usually look at, but these have not done well. Well, this one did okay, actually. Let's look at this. We get the dip below the 30 here and then a move back up. So that would have been a small profit. Yeah, 1% there. And a similar move over here, but it just keeps going down. Yeah, that would have triggered. That would have been a loser. And a bunch of little triggers here. Yeah, this is no fun on the RSI when you set an alert on here and then these just keep triggering but not really going anywhere, just drifting down. Here's a bigger move and across here. But again, sideways and drifting down. So the RSI is not looking good. So yeah, I like the super trend with the RTI confirmation, but be advised it may not trigger today. Okay, any questions on that before we look for something else? Okay. So let's look at social activity. Sort by this. Fire and fire. Storage I've been trading with some success lately. We got fire on both social activity and trading activity. So I think that's worth a better look. Let's check it out. Okay, this is a little better looking chart. Let's go to 5, just get started. Yeah, so if you want to do a price alert on this one, we do have some support here in the green area. Right click here, 0.2795. I kind of like that. For a price alert, right click, add alert. I'll drop it to there, 0.279. This was a social activity sort. And click create, you're good to go on that one. When it triggers, reevaluate. On our indicators on the 15-minute chart, see if divergence is any good on this. Yeah, this one's been a little, has some more of this sideways action, more ranging than some of the others we've looked at, or I've looked at today. The Saturday move did really well. That would have been a good move. These would have been good moves down. This one, maybe. I'll probably get an additional buy and then get out here. So this looks pretty good on storage. So if you want to set alerts on divergence, I've showed many times how to find this indicator. I'll do that real quick. Do your search, type in divergence. And this is the one I like, divergence for many indicators. So it's an indicator that assembles other indicators. And right click, if you're going both directions, say in your leverage trader, you're going to need 2 alerts. We can go negative here. And social activity. And that looks good. I'll create that one. And then on a long, positive divergence detected, once per bar close, social activity sort. And I've got my divergence alerts good to go. All right, so those look pretty good. This one may have been bucking the trend a little bit, at least for a while. Let's look at supertrend. Looks pretty good. This buy actually would have had a nice move. The sell, a nice move down. And the buy triggered about 20 minutes ago. We don't have the confirmation above the 50 on the RTI. But the other two look good. The squeeze momentum and RSI are confirming, so it's your call if you want to take that one. But the others look pretty good. And let's look at the RSI. Okay, we get a drop here. Again, it goes above the 70 and then dips below. That's what I'm looking for on the short side. And get the movement down here, 4%. That's a really good day trade. And we get another one of those. I'm not sure about that one. Definitely this one. And this one might have gone against you at first, but eventually comes back down. Yeah, gets this big move here and then drops. Depending on how you're money managing your situation, whether that would have been profitable or not on an additional purchase. And obviously this is a better entry for that. Get that move down. Don't have any on the upside. If I'm using the 30, I want it to dip below this 30 value and come back up. I don't see any that have done that in the last couple days. This one went to 31.8. And this one, yeah, about the same. So what we could do is fudge a little on our range. So let's say you want to catch these moves, and both of them were good. Well, this one wasn't. Might have been eventually. This one was really good. But let's say you want to try to catch those moves. We're going to enter a channel. The top is going to be 70. And the low is usually 30, but we're going to go 32 this time. Once per bar close. And that was social activity sort.
Okay.
And I usually do a different sound, chirpy, for that one. And did I hear a voice?
Yes, this is Kim.
Hey, Kim.
Are you only using the other? I'm sorry, I had to step away for a few minutes, but are you using the other technicals as you're in and out, or are you waiting for that second confirmation time period?
Depends which one I'm using. If I'm using supertrend, that's just like it sounds, trend-based. So trend-based indicators, you want other indicators to confirm. So that's where I'm using the RSI, the RTI, and the squeeze momentum. And the RTI is a new addition. You were with me on Friday, so you know that Frank suggested that one. He and I had talked about it before, but I hadn't looked at it in significant detail yet. So I went ahead and threw it on my chart, and we'll try to use that one. Now, divergence, which is the first thing I look at, is like it sounds. It's divergent. It's going against the grain. It's trying to find something. It's trying to be predictive. So I'm not looking for confirmation on that necessarily. With the exception of I would like my divergence to be in this range. So if I have a bullish divergence, I want it to have gone through this green and come back up, or actually be in the green, because it's better to take bullish divergence when you're on the bottom of a range. And then, vice versa for a short position, I want to catch it up here in this top area, so it's less likely to go up and it's more likely to go down. So the red and the green on the supply and demand is the only confirmation I use for divergence. And then I use the others like I just described for super trend. Does that make sense? Or did I go too fast for you?
Well, yeah, I'll ask more questions here in a little bit if I'll just try to keep up.
Okay.
DJ, can you put super trend back on that?
Okay.
And then expand the RTI a little bit because it's really scrunched down.
Yeah, it is kind of scrunchy there.
You just move the chart along, it'll clean it up, because the one on the left is what's making it scrunched up.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, good call.
Okay, so when you see that buy pop up,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see it coming out of that red zone to the far right there, and you see that the yellow line, green line, whatever, the green, I guess, coming above the blue,
Mm-hmm.
and you're seeing your bottom, like your squeeze momentum shifting from red to green. I would consider taking that buy signal.
Yeah, I agree with Frank on this. This is a
Okay.
really, really good example.
Yeah,
So
that's a way of looking for a reversal
mhm,
in the channel.
sure. So we've got several things in this particular one that Frank pointed out, and that it's dipped into the green and coming back up. We get the buy on the super trend. We've got obvious confirmation on the RSI and the squeeze momentum, and then we've got the green line crossing above the signal line, plus it's above the 50. So we got all this information telling us that we're trending back up. So this would have been a good entry on Sunday morning at 4:30 a.m. Pacific, when I would have been asleep, but for the purposes of an example, it's really good. So yeah, thanks for that one, Frank.
Okay.
If we're looking right at the end of that line, there's a buy
Yeah.
signal just come in.
Yes.
It looks like a perfect entry there.
Indeed. My only concern about this one, well, this buy entry did not dip into the green, which isn't necessarily a deal breaker, but it is pretty close to the mid range. And we haven't crossed. We do have the signal cross, or the line. I got to figure out which one's which for my jargon here. Look at this real quick. So we have the RTI as the green line, and the trend index is the blue. Let's see if I can remember that.
That's the moving average.
Yeah, the moving average. Okay. Yeah, the MA relative. So we got the RTI crossing the moving average here. So that's a trend, trending up. So that's a positive confirmation. Got the squeeze momentum up. RSI generally trending up, but hooking down a little bit here. But this one's super sensitive. I don't know, but there's more bullish than bearish on this.
Yeah.
But it's not.
It may not work, but
Yeah.
you just watch it.
It's a pretty good signal,
Yeah.
as far as the indicators go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
Okay, a while ago you were giving an example when you were going through it kind of fast. Go back to the left a little bit. Right there. That down one right next to it, to the right.
This one?
No. Yeah, it's after the green, the next down. Right there. Okay, you said it's just barely past min range, and you said, well, when it touches the bottom, is that close enough? I mean, is that what we're talking about? Or are we talking about like the RTI, which goes down and below the line? I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
this
just,
is a little confusing because I've got, actually I turned off Bollinger Bands. So the mid-range is this yellow line on the supply and demand visible range. This is Lux Algo indicator. And then if I have my Bollinger Bands, this is the SMA, simple moving average through the Bollinger Bands. So this is kind of
Okay.
hanging around those the SMA, but it's below this range here. Plus, it's got the other stuff going for it, and that's why I thought this was a good example.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you'd said it had dipped into the green, and I was like, well, it doesn't really look
Well, it
like
did
that.
back here. It did. It didn't. It
Right.
came down into the green, then it's coming back up. So
Okay. You just said something about that being a good entry point, and I was like, okay, I missed the
yeah,
info, I guess. But
because
okay.
the super
It's
trend.
midpoint of the moving average line, I guess.
Yeah, maybe that's what threw you off. We're ignoring this for the moment, and we're more focused on this midline here for the supply and demand.
Can you put it on the 5-minute? Sorry again for hijacking your.
It's okay. We're talking about the RTI. You know it better than I do.
All right.
So
I think 15 is better right now.
yeah. All right, we'll stick with that for now. All right. Well, I think we're done with that one, unless there's any other questions. All right, we'll do one more on Altcoin Alert and then head over to iCoinPro. All right. Refresh. We looked at social activity and AA score. Look at 24-hour change real quick. See what's positive. Auger, huh? I'm gonna trade that one in a while. Blue Zell's been kind of pumping lately. TRB, metal, ENJ. Look at ENJ. I think we're too late for Auger. And I did one of these Zoom calls a couple of weeks ago focusing on ranging. So sometimes, yeah, this looks like it's ranging to me. This can be a better sit. It's only up 1%, but everything else is down. So when everything else is down and there's contrarian coins, but they're not huge moves, sometimes those can be really good for the type of trades I like to do, which is 1% move at 10x leverage, or on spot trades maybe 2 or 3%. So that kind of thing. This can be really good for that. Take a quick look at the 5. Get rid of some of these drawings. And we're right in the bottom of the range on the 5-minute chart for the moment on ENJ. So I don't really see an obvious price alert, maybe here around 0.237, but we're pretty close to that already. On the 15, okay, look at divergence first. And kind of hit and miss. This one have gone down, then eventually come up. But the short one looks good. This entry here from Sunday morning looks good. And these eventually would have done pretty well. These two, we don't know yet. Maybe this one. Yeah, I would have, had I got that one right around 12:30, I would have been in good shape for my approach. But if you're trading spot, you'd probably still be in that trade. We got negative divergence on storage. We just spent all that time on it. You guys might want to check that out. I don't think I'm going to go into it now. I'm running a little late, so If you want to check out negative divergence on storage, it's available. Okay, so kind of on the fence on divergence for this one. Let's look at supertrend. The two buy signals are obviously good. Would have caught that big move up. This sell would have caught this move down. The sell here, not so good. So 3 out of 4 good looking super trend entries.
EJ,
Yeah.
I like to see two buys or two sells in either the green or the red. A green buy, red sell, green buy real quick in that little, span there.
Uh-huh.
On the second buy, jump on it. You see your RTIs turning up. Your bottom indicator going from red to big green. You can take that whole thing all the way up to the red.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
how I look at it, and that's how I use it.
Okay. That's a good way to do it.
I
Another
like
option.
So
Well,
you are looking for that confirmation then? With the
Yeah.
second? Okay.
but I like two buys or two sells in the red. I'd love to get those
Yeah,
because the first one doesn't always trigger.
right. And what I've been doing lately is if I get in too soon, and this probably isn't a good example, if I get in too soon and that goes against me maybe 10%, which for me is gonna be like 1% on a chart, then I'll jump in. I'll add some money to that position, and I've done pretty well with that. So in this scenario, let's say I buy this one, even though the RTI doesn't really confirm it, and then it goes against me around here. Maybe the sell goes off. No, that's a bad example. This buy is actually, well, it's actually about the same place. That's not a great example. So forget I said anything. But yeah, adding to your position can be useful if something goes against you a little bit, and then the setup like Frank just described is starting to form. So okay, all right, I think RSI was the last one, and then we'll head over to iCoinPro. Let's go with our vertical line. This entry would have been really good. Not sure about that one. Yeah, 1.6%. I like that. Then we get the pump up. Come on. We get this pump up, and we're probably in too soon on that one. This is the better entry. Catch that move down. So a couple of them worked, a couple of them did not on the RSI. It looks like the super trend was the best way to go on ENJ. Any questions on this one before we head over to iCoinPro? Okay, let's see what we have on iCoinPro. Home of the 1, 2, 3 dip. I like their RSI spy tool and their buddy CoinCrawler. Lots of choices today with the drop in Bitcoin and Ethereum today. Everything is, below the 30 on the RSI at some point. So instead of, looking for individual coins, this will tell me what coins are below that 30 value that we were looking at for the RSI on the 1 hour chart. So if something's below the 30 on the 1 hour chart, it's been beaten down pretty hard and usually due for recovery. Usually, but not always. So we've got a couple in here I trade sometimes. I've been trading GRT lately. Anchor, Chili's, Quant, Litecoin. Let's look at Chili's. It's got this cool drop-down menu. I can go to Trading View. It'll bring up a 5-minute chart. So 5-minute Chili's chart on Binance. drifting down today like most of them. And I'm seeing some support here at 0.0545, but we're pretty close to that already. Let's see if it's dipped below that. No, this is the lowest it's been in quite a while. We had a big drop here on the August 17th, which was a huge dump day, and we're below that now. So that is a concern. Okay, on the 15-minute, let's look at divergence. Okay, this one's kind of surprising. It's from Saturday night, 1.8%. This one, probably still in that one. The rest of them are catching some moves slightly up, but not very much. And this one just goes straight down. So divergence is not looking good. This is looking like some of the other charts we looked at earlier today. So supertrend is not giving us a buy signal in quite a while. Since Thursday. It triggered the sell signal Thursday night, and that's it.
Look at those candles. Oh, you've changed. Look at those candles. The wicks up and down on all of them.
Yeah, let me set this one. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, this is an old layout. Well, I'll use it for now. This is another Lux Algo option. I like the range better. Yeah, there's no super trend trigger since Thursday, so that's not useful. Though I guess you could set one expecting a buy at some point. Instead of finding it, you can do it this way. Click on these 3 dots, add an alert on super trend, and click your buy once per bar close, and RSI SPY, and you're good to go on that. On RSI would have caught that move there, but the rest are not good. Maybe that's profitable. The rest of these are trending down. Not good, not good. I think I'll get out of that one. Okay. The graph GRT is another one I like. Let's check that out. We'll do it on this supply and demand layout chart. And super trend. Get a buy on Sunday night. It's the last one. Again, it's trending down like the others. So this is pretty much junk. So what I did today, I saw this on several charts I was looking at this morning. So I went over to my list here, and I'm just saying, okay, clearly the market's down. What's going up? So I sorted my list by this percent change. I was looking for the positive ones. So ENJ came up, which we looked at earlier, and I think I put an alert on SFP as well. The others were not looking like this morning. So you can do that, and you'll see a different structure. You see this big move here, then kind of a valley, then it's trending back up. So something like this can be a little bit better for divergence. You get more of a range. We had the pump in the red here, then a drop in the green here. Now it's trending back up. So if you took this one, that's from Saturday night. Let's be a little more realistic. I don't trade much on the weekends, if at all. So for me, I'm going to be looking at this one here Monday morning. Probably not up this early, but this would have been a nice entry. 3:30 my time, I'm not going to be up, but 6:30 Eastern, maybe. So divergence has a possible here with this setup. And then let's look at supertrend. Has a few entries. One from Sunday afternoon that did okay. This buy here. Again, I'm not matching them up at the moment. I'm going through this kind of fast. This would have caught this move eventually, as does this one. So the buy signals look pretty good here. You're trading a CHR Chromia, I believe, on spot. And then if you're trading leverage, these moves down would have been okay. I don't know if it would have been enough for what I'm looking for. Yeah, would have caught that 1% there. So, all right, pretty good stuff on Chromia, better than I anticipated. So this kind of sort obviously doesn't involve either iCoinPro or Altcoin Alert or any other, information source. You're just sorting your list, and it's easy to make lists on TradingView. I do have a TradingView video I made a couple years ago, so you might want to go through my my list and find that. If you can't, email me and I'll track it down for you. Yeah, let's look at one more on iCoinPro. We looked at RSI SPY, and we can look at fear and greed index real quick. It's overall market. It's about 24 hours lagging, so we're in fear. We have a high value of fear. We don't have single digits here like we did after the FTX crash, but fear nonetheless. Buddy Coin Crawler will tell me what's moving. It doesn't necessarily give me a direction though. But if I sort by this average low to SMA, looking for values, usually 4 or 5% or higher, that's usually something that's moving that day. Let's look at this as a spot trade. Acro, something I've traded on spot before. Let's type that in. I think it's on thought it was on Coinbase. Crypto.com. Whoa, interesting. I don't know why I did that. All right, supertrend looks good on the 15-minute. Buy signals here and here. Yeah, nice moves, 10+%. So I like that. Let's look at divergence. Nice bullish divergence here on Saturday night. Caught that move there. That one's a bit too soon, but these others, it would have caught this move here. So yeah, Acropolis looks pretty good if you're willing to trade on crypto.com, which is sort of decentralized. I can't remember. But Acro looks pretty good on there, and you might want to see if it's on some other exchanges that you usually trade. Let's see. There's an RSI entry here that would have eventually paid off. But I think I just stick with supertrend on this or divergence. So yeah, supertrend looks really good on this one. Okay, we're at about 40 minutes now. Usually we like to wrap up. Any other questions, comments, things you want to, other coins you want to look at, something like that? Very well. I know it was kind of all over the place today. Sorry, I was a little disorganized. We just had an alert. Let's check that out before I go. Negative divergence on SFP. That's not one we looked at, so we'll focus on that. So where was I? Yeah, incorporating the RTI and some of the other trend-based approaches, trying to give you guys a few different options to get better entries instead of just, throwing darts at the board. So hopefully this helps you out. If you're watching on the recording, thanks for doing that. I hope to see you live next time. Please check out the opportunities in the pinned comment. They help support the channel. If you're a Carbon member, you'll need to exit this Zoom call, come back on that link in 15 minutes, and we'll talk Carbon. See you guys next time.